Hey, what's going on? Hope you're doing good. Today we're going to go over 5 tips for the Minilogue XD. The first 2 tips that we're going to go over can probably be applied to any subtractive synthesizer, and then the last 3 tips are going to be Minilogue XD specific. So let's go ahead and get into it. Tip number 1. Okay, this first tip is something that I'm calling intentional resonance. That's not a real term, it's just something that I made up. And what we're gonna do is play a chord and then crank the resonance so that it self-oscillates, and it creates this sort of guitar feedback, like amp feedback sort of sound that sounds interesting. Currently, I just have a very simple patch. It's just 2 oscillators slightly detuned from each other. Sounds like this. Here's an example of intentional resonance. One more time. Here's how we can achieve this. What I'm going to do is turn down both of the oscillators, and what I'm going to do is crank the resonance so that we can find a pitch. I know that that matches with the last note in my chord that I'm playing. What I'll do then is turn my oscillators back up, turn the resonance down. Tip number 2, tape delay for quick ambience. You can do this with the Minilogue XD, the Prologue, and then if you have a delay pedal or, a delay VST, you should be able to do that with those. Let me show you how this works. We're gonna select delay, tape, all right? And then I'm gonna turn the time all the way up, just as far as it can go. And then the depth, I'll turn that up pretty far as well. I have the cutoff all the way off. I'm just gonna hold down a note and then I'm gonna slowly bring up the cutoff. Go down an octave. And then maybe I'll change the wave type here. Go up another octave. Change the oscillator type. I'll add both of them in here. I'll detune them, even though I can't hear it. Let's go back and then add another one of those low notes. Maybe we'll add a little bit of shape here, cut the resonance a little bit more. Cool. Turn the shape back down. Go back to this first oscillator alone. Move this back up, and then I'm going to do something like this. We'll go to the ARP, and I know that, again, we can't hear it, and then I'm just going to sort of bring this up a little bit. We'll move the tempo up too. Oh, I got external clock. Cool, right? Chorus. Let's do a unison. We'll crank the unison. Okay, nice quick tip. Tip number 3. Tip number 3 is specific to the Minilogue XD. We have 4 hidden LFOs in here by using the motion mode. Let's go ahead and get an initialized patch. Hit play. I'm gonna hit record and we're gonna go into motion mode, right? Currently there's nothing. We're gonna take the pitch of the oscillator here. We're just gonna move this a little bit like that. What's really cool about the XD is that you can just hold down any of these buttons and then you can move the parameter. All the way up, all the way down, all the way up, all the way down, all the way up, way down. I don't know what you would use that for. Say for instance that you did something stupid like that and you want to remove it. you can just go to edit mode, sequence. You're going to hit this third button here, and then we'll just go ahead and turn this knob. Right, now we've cleared it. So you can sort of create your own custom LFOs. You can get granular and you can turn them into shapes. Maybe we can do another example here that sounds a little bit better. So hit play, record. I'm going to turn the tempo down a little bit. Motion mode, and then I'm not going to play the keys because it will write that information in there and we don't want that. So I'm just going to go ahead and move this here. Now, let's say that I want my second LFO to modulate my pitch. I'm going to hit record. And let's turn the reverb on just to get it sounding a little bit more dreamy. Record this in. Oh gosh. I went up a little bit too early in the beginning, so I'm just going to hold these, bring them down, down, down. Right? And so now I've got the volume of VCO2, or the level, going up as this goes closer to the end of this. So we'll hit play again. Say, for instance, that we are working in this motion mode, but we can't really hear what we're doing because we don't know where it's at. And if you're playing the notes at the same time, then you're going to write those notes in there. And you don't want that because you want to be able to play freely. What you can do is go into edit mode, global. It is this second button here, and we're going to turn the metronome on, play, and then we'll hit record. Makes this a little bit easier. Maybe we can take that a little bit further. Cool. Great. I've created a bunch of modulation and I haven't even touched the LFO. Tip number 3. Tip number 4. Cheap and free plugins for the XD and the Prologue. When I talk to some of my friends, I'm always so surprised as to why they don't use any of these free plugins that are available. Shout out to my friend Cal Blac. He's one of the most talented people that's ever touched a Prologue. And when I talk to him about the free plugins, he's like, nah, nah. But you should check out his work if you get a chance. Anyways, free plugins. So I'm gonna go ahead and get an initialized patch here. And I'm gonna go to my user oscillator and turn this up. We're going to super, which is just a super saw. This is from Hammondeggs. Hammondeggs has all of these user oscillators and user effects, delay, reverb, and mod effects. And they're free or donation based. You should check it out, maybe donate. But let's take a listen to this. We're gonna go to edit mode to the 7th button here. Now we have all of these different options for the super saw or super 2 user oscillator. We have 3 different waveforms. We have a sawtooth, a square wave, and then a triangle. And for each of these, we have different functions. So we have a glide. We have pulse width for the square wave. We have pulse width modulation, so you can set the rate and then the amount or the intensity. Let's get over here. Also, you know, your whole signal path still is the same, so you're gonna go through your filter, your amp envelope, your LFO, you can control all of that. You can throw this multi-engine into your different effects. Here's also another trick when you're working through these menus. If you hold shift and you press this, it will allow you to go backwards so you don't have to cycle all the way through the buttons again. It's not a big deal, but sometimes I feel like it's a little bit easier. Here's something that we can do with this is we can now still use our analog oscillators. That's a really mean sound. We'll go to chord and then we'll make sure that we're all the way down so that we're in mono mode. Tight, right? Let's go on to our user effects. Grit. Who made Grit? Hammondeggs made Grit. Grit is so sick. It's like an analog delay emulation sort of thing. And it operates in that same sort of chaotic way where you can get out of control with it really quickly. That's really sick. Free. All of this is free. I want to show you how simple or how easy it is to load these. You got to make sure that you have the Prologue or the Minilogue XD plugged in either with 5-pin MIDI or your USB cable. Okay, we're going to go to user modulation here. I'm going to select this tab here, number 2, drag it over here, boom, send all. That's it. Okay, back over here, let's take a look. Oh geez, oh gosh, oh boy. So we're going to go to mod, and then we're going to move this up to user. Dude. That's so cool. I'm sorry. Tip number 5. Paid plugins for the XD, specifically Node, which is an FM synthesizer from Sinevibes. And it's so sick. It's only 40 bucks and you don't need to get an FM synth. And it is really simple and really cool and really intuitive. I'm going to show you how it works. So we'll go ahead and go to user and Node. I have all of these turned down, and let's turn this up, right? And we just have a simple sine here. And I'll also go ahead and just get ourselves over to the multi-engine menu here in settings, the 7th one in. So we have 24 different algorithms. I'm not going to explain FM synthesis because I don't even know what it is. It's really cool. And so we can go through these different algorithms. Let me turn this up so we can hear. And then if we select this again, then we have our ratio. Sick, right? Ah, that's so cool. Let's go ahead and turn on reverb. I want to use Submarine, which is the spooky one. All right. How sick is that? Here's what's really cool and simple about this is that this user oscillator has its own LFOs and envelopes built into it. That's so super cool because then you don't have to sacrifice this for, say for instance, for volume or for the cutoff. I'll show you what I'm talking about. We're gonna go in here. So we have these different envelope types or modulation generators, right? Sort of like MS-20 nomenclature. I haven't remembered all of these, but I have it up on my monitor. And I think that this would be sort of beneficial if you were to print this out or just have it up and then you're looking at it. It makes so much sense. So this is just going to be sort of an exponential envelope shape for this one here. We will set how fast that shape is going, and we're going to set the depth or the amount. And then this is controlling this shape knob all the way up. Our speed, and we're going to maybe make this a little bit slower. I think the higher the percentage, the slower. Let's go all the way up real quick and just hear it. All right, let's get some different sounds here. They have LFOs. I believe number 9 is going to be just a triangle wave. So we just get the up and down here. We'll go like this. And then this one doesn't stop. It just keeps going. Let me open this back up again so we can hear what we're doing. And I'm going to turn the reverb off for now. That's wild. Let's turn the speed all the way up. Looks like with the LFOs, the higher the percentage, the faster the LFO. However, with the envelopes, the higher the percentage, the slower the envelope, okay? So Here's something else that we can try. We can turn the amp envelope all the way up, right? Make sure that where our sustain is up. It's really cool. I think that's so cool. Okay, maybe we can play around with maybe a different algorithm. That's pretty mean sounding. Let's see if we can find some more shapes here. 15 is going to be a square wave. Let's see. This is so cool, and I could probably just do a video specifically on Node, and I probably will. If you get a chance, do me a favor. I dropped an album a couple of weeks ago called Precipice. It's on all the streaming platforms, and about 90% of the sounds are from the Nord drum. I'd be super grateful if you took some time to listen to it. And hey, have a good week. Bye.